holiday season.
Joint pain relief doesn't have to mean drugs and surgery. Now there's a better alternative that patients are raving about. Hey, this is for my friends at QC Kinetics. Local medical professionals using natural biologic treatments. Highly concentrated healing properties from your own body put directly into the affected joint. Restoring and repairing damaged tissue the way your body was designed to heal. If you're tired of the Band-Aid solutions like drugs and steroids, and you really want to avoid surgery, you need to check out QC Kinetics. Regenerative, restorative, natural treatments for knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain in your hips. Don't continue to suffer, and don't go in for surgery until you check this out. See if you're a candidate. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. Surgical pain relief with lasting results. 828-333-9517.
At Napa, we keep things moving. If it has wheels and an engine, we help keep it on the road. And if it's on the road, we have parts for it. And if you need a part, you can get it fast, like same-day pickup or next-day delivery fast. At Napa, when we're not thinking about cars, we're thinking about the people who drive them. Because when it comes to serving you and our community, our motor never quits. That's Napa know-how. Same-day pickup and next-day delivery available at participating stores and on in-stock items only.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Significant NBA news today from ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. There is increasing optimism LeBron James could make his return to the Lakers lineup Friday against the Celtics. He's been out the last 7 games with an abdominal strain. The Rams reeling as they go into their bye week. Back-to-back losses, outscored 59-26 in the process. Both the offense and defense are stumbling. LA's issues on D especially troubling for a team with championship aspirations, notes our Keyshawn Johnson.
You can't be a defensive juggernaut if you're allowing people to just run the ball down your throat at will. You don't allow people to rush for the type of yards that the Rams have been giving up on the ground this year. That is their biggest problem. Until they can fix that, they're not winning no damn Super Bowl.
Keyshawn of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Illinois football coach Brett Bielema testing positive for COVID-19. He'll miss Saturday's game at Iowa. Virginia Tech and coach Justin Fuente mutually agreed to part ways. According to athletic director Whit Babcock, Fuente will receive an $8.75 million buyout from the Hokies.
Coming up Wednesday, we've got the biggest game in the NBA so far as the Nets host the 11-2 Warriors in Brooklyn. We'll tell you who has the MVP edge, Steph or KD. That's Wednesday morning. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword BILLS to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's BILLS to 200-200.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, weekdays at 3 o'clock, right here in the Sportsocracy. Of course, you can join us on the YouTube stream as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and you can join our membership group, the House of Reprehensibles, as we welcome all into the House of Reprehensibles. We are not, we do not discriminate. Anyone can join the group as long as you got some thick skin, because we do like to talk smack to each other back and forth. It is it's Tuesday. We got the week 10 of the NFL in the books. Jeremy has pulled even in the Beat the Chief contest.
How about
for the
them
week,
49ers?
For the week at least.
I
I'm a game behind.
You still have, I still got you by a game.
Woo!
Hey, for Mr. I can't wait to smoke you each and every week.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I feel pretty good. That through 10 weeks of the season, I got a game on you.
Yeah, I'm still shocked that this is the first week that anybody tied.
Right.
As much as we agree, it's shocking this is the first time somebody's tied.
Mm-hmm.
But San Francisco showed last night what it is that I've been talking about for seemingly months. They're better than they've played.
Yes.
And Deebo Samuel is the best receiver that no one talks about.
It's because he's the only one. He's the only one that they have. And
no, he's not. Brandon Ayuk's good, too. That team, that is a
He hasn't been good this year, though. Brandon Ayuk hasn't been that good this year.
Last month called their take. They want their take back because Brandon Ayuk's been fine. Brandon Ayuk is a good receiver.
I'm not saying he's
bad. They finally figured out that he's not Deebo Samuel. So, hey, maybe we should stop trying to use him that way.
Right. I'm not saying Brandon Ayuk's bad. I'm just saying he hasn't had a great season.
It helps when Kittle's in the lineup because that takes a lot of focus away.
Of course it does. This is a markedly different team with George Kittle in the lineup. Last night completely took me by surprise with them winning 31-10.
Not me. Mm-hmm. It didn't take me by surprise.
You thought they'd be able to blow out the Rams?
I thought they would cover. There's only
and the Rams coming off of a loss last week in kind of a embarrassing fashion of just mistakes that you're not known for this year. I didn't think that they were going to get blown out, which is exactly what this was. I mean, it was 14-0 before you could sneeze.
Yeah, that's what happens when Odell Beckham decides to run to the locker room instead of, continuing a play.
Yep.
The thing that would be unsettling if I was a Rams fan is how easily teams are running on you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying Elijah Mitchell averaged a ton of yards per carry. What he did was stay in front of the chains. That's what San Francisco has to have. They are a team that cannot fall behind the chains. And if they do, now too much of the onus goes on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
You know who does that exact same thing? Bill Belichick. All you have to do, gain 3 yards on first down, 3 to 4 yards on second down, and the whole playbook's wide open on third.
Right.
And the thing about that offense is it's so multiple. You have Deebo Samuel, and I watched part of the Manning cast a little bit until there was a penalty that they didn't even acknowledge, and I went, nope, this is why I don't watch this. I don't even know what happened now. You're talking to Al Michaels. They were showing some clip of Al Michaels from like 1998. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay? Al talking is fine. I like Al talking.
I turned it on quick enough to see them talk about the miraculous comeback, the fourth quarter comeback that the Indianapolis Colts had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, and I went, okay, I don't want to watch anymore. You've hurt my feelings now, and now I don't want to do it because I had to live through that, and it still scares me. Like I could see the Monday Night Football logo and still have flashbacks of thinking about that 28-point turnaround in the fourth quarter.
See, that's where you just have to adjust your thinking because the Jets have lost practically every time we've ever been on Monday Night Football, except that one time.
Yeah.
The Monday Night Miracle. That's what I think of when I say Monday Night
There you go. Well, good for you.
Yeah, you got to look at the positive when your team is brutal.
I'm glad you have good memories of Monday Night Football.
But that's what I saw from San Francisco last night, is that you're so multiple.
Mm-hmm.
Debo lines up in the backfield. That's a brilliant iteration of that offense because it just messes the numbers up, especially against a three-man front.
How long you think Shanahan's been sitting on that?
Oh.
You think he's been sitting on that
since the offseason? He's been waiting to face the Rams because it is earmarked to beat them. That is one of those things that, and I'm not trying to get super nerdy here, but it's earmarked to beat teams that play a lot of man and like to play with a three-man front. Because now the numbers are a miss. And I can throw George Kittle out there as a blocker, of which I am really glad Louis Riddick said this. He's the most underrated blocker in the NFL.
Right.
George Kittle chooses violence when it comes to blocking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the many things I love about him. Also, a member of Team Mullet.
That pancake on Von Miller was
he was George Kittle is as complete of a player as we have in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get the credit because he's a tight end, but he is what makes that offense go. And now the San Francisco 49ers are without a doubt the team that can make the playoffs that nobody wants to see make the playoffs.
Right.
And I could argue they're one of the best setup teams in the NFL for the future because that team is young.
Indeed.
And I understand Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be the forever. He's the for right now.
Yep.
And I saw a guy that has that locker room. The Trey Lance thing, you know what you're not going to hear anybody talk about today? Wonder when they're going to put in Trey Lance. Well, that aged poorly.
I don't know. I have seen people still talking about this.
No, those people are dumb. After last night, there was no reason to talk about that.
Is this the new San Francisco 49ers in the middle of the season? Are they going to be able to keep doing this, replicating this week in and week out? Or is it time to turn it over?
Anybody that's asking that question today is a moron. Mm-hmm. And that is the nicest way I can say that. If you can watch what you saw last night and Trey Lance even enters your thought process, you don't understand this game all that well.
Right.
Because the bottom side of the NFC is not all that good. I mean, and I hate to keep harping on the Panthers, but there is a little tier here of the Panthers, the Vikings, now the 49ers, the Eagles, and there's 2 playoff spots open for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had these earmarked. Every division obviously gets the champion of the division gets in.
Yes.
I think we can look at the NFC East and go, well, the Cowboys are going to win that.
Yeah, that's sewed up.
We can look at the North and go, yeah, the Packers are going to win that.
Mm-hmm.
This week notwithstanding, I think you can look at the Buccaneers and go, they've got that sewn up. Cardinals, yeah, it's only a game advantage on the Rams right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you've already beat them. You play them again. That feels like more than a game advantage to me.
It's still up in the air for me. But
see, it's not to me. I just look at the Cardinals and go, you feel much better than they are.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes, it matters to the team that wins the division because they're going to get the home game and all of that. But it doesn't really matter because one of them's going to end up at the division and the other one's going to end up with the first wild card.
And that very much matters, but that's not really what I'm talking about here.
No.
Those 5 teams. All right, so the 4 division winners and the Rams in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we can universally agree they're all playoff teams.
Yes.
And then what? It gets Eagles, Vikings, Panthers, 49ers really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, it gets Saints, Falcons, fast.
Yeah.
There's 2 playoff spots going to those teams.
Mm-hmm.
And the San Francisco 49ers last night said, I think I can take one of those off the board.
Yep.
I believe we can claim one of those because we are markedly better than every one of those.
They still got to string a bunch of wins together to make it happen, obviously, but so do those other teams. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Is you feel like Cam Newton coming back is going to spur the Carolina Panthers into a late season run here where they're going to be able to make the playoffs? Could happen. Could happen. Not out of the realm of possibility.
And before you decide to either at me on Twitter, at JGreenESPN, get into the YouTube chat stream, or anything with Panthers talk, do me a favor. Go look at the Philadelphia Eagles schedule for the rest of the year. Just marinate on that and realize that your margin for error is really small.
Agreed.
Really small.
Mm-hmm. The Carolina Panthers are going to have to play unbelievable football like they did this past week against the Arizona Cardinals to be able to make this happen. You cannot have a stumbling block.
No.
You are not afforded that because I'm almost to the point where I'm ready to write Eagles in ink on the playoff slate.
I'm not quite there because at the end of the day, that team's still not all that good.
Yeah,
but that schedule is dreadfully bad.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's obviously going to be up to Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, they have to not turn back into that team that we saw in the beginning of the season.
Right. Miles Sanders comes back. You continue running the ball like this. It was the one thing that you found success with that you refused to do at the beginning of the season. Miles Sanders was, some of those games he was averaging like 8 yards a carry and still only got, 9, 10 carries in a game? Now, if he's going to be part of this, we're going to run the ball 40 times for 230 yards, you can win ball games like this, especially against the rest of your schedule.
The thing about the NFC is that there's just not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who the second worst team in the NFC right now is?
The second worst team?
If the season ended today, the team that would finish in 15th place in the NFC is who?
Oh, I can't even.
It's the Chicago Bears.
It's the Bears. Wow. Okay.
My favorite stat that I've heard in quite some time. In the AFC, there are 12 teams that are 5-5 or better. The bottom 4 teams in the AFC are combined 8-29. Yikes!
Wow. Part of me wanted to say the Seattle Seahawks.
One of those
on that one.
They're next.
They're next.
After Chicago.
Yeah.
But there's just a mash of teams. There are 9 teams. 8 teams. 8 teams in the NFC have either 3 or 4 wins. This is very wide open. But what that means is that the cream's going to rise to the top. We've talked about this a lot in the AFC because they all play each other. In the NFC, it's not as much as that they play each other as that there's just not a lot of games on the schedule that you look at and go, well, that's a no-doubt win. You look at that with the Lions, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Jets, and to an extreme, the Dolphins. Every other team could beat you. They could beat you. The Chicago Bears are a tough out because Justin Fields is multiple. He's figuring out better how to play quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
And the defense is still fine. The Seahawks have Russell Wilson. The Giants can still score. The defense is it's fun. They just flip a coin and go, today we're going to be bad. Okay, it was heads, we're going to be bad.
Right.
And Washington, who is also in that little 3-win tier, they just beat the defending Super Bowl champions. Because this year is drunk. The NFL got intoxicated, and now this is what we're left with.
Right. I mean, after Week 10, was there anything that we definitively learned this week?
In my opinion, we definitively learned that the San Francisco 49ers are the 6th best team in the NFC.
I think we definitively learned that you cannot bury the Kansas City Chiefs. We all wanted to. We all wanted to.
Our power rankings come out live 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yep.
And I'm just going to be honest with you. There is a narrative there. Stick to your guns. I really should have stuck to my guns. I stopped letting outside noise affect you. These teams are what they are. There's not a lot of difference in the NFL. There are 4 great teams. There are 4 horrendous teams. And then there's varying levels of inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's what the league is in large part. And this is going to be, I think this could be the most fun second half of a season that we've ever seen.
It could be. You have a lot of teams that are really close in the standings. The divisions may not be close. The divisions,
not in the NFC, at least.
Right. Well, I mean, look, as much as you want to put, the Bill Belichickiest fan out there wants to put the New England Patriots in the race for the AFC East.
They're not.
I mean, numbers-wise, they are. They're only, what, a game and a half? Half a game? Half a game back from the Buffalo Bills. So you're in the race right now. Yeah, but you're probably not going to be there.
Yeah, the only bad thing for them is that they have to play Buffalo twice. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I've never been more sure of a victory in my entire life. Buffalo against New England.
Yep. Baltimore is leading the AFC North. I mean, the Steelers are a half a game back from them. The Bengals are right there in the mix. The Cleveland Browns are even still in the mix.
The only thing I know definitively about that division is that the Cleveland Browns are the worst team in it.
I'd agree.
That's the only thing I know definitively.
Wanted it to be different, but it's not. I believed too much in the Cleveland Browns this year, as I have for the past 3 years, I think. The Baltimore Ravens are going to walk away with that division eventually, I think.
But just look at the schedule for this week. Look at how many tremendous, huge playoff ramification games we have. All right, take Thursday Night Football out because I don't know how they draw games, but they get the short end of the scheduling stick.
You got the Patriots and the Falcons.
Woohoo! That'll be over by the end of the first quarter. You've got the Colts and the Bills. That has huge playoff ramifications. The Colts, that's a game we've looked at with the Colts and gone, you're just going to lose that. You find a way to win that, now we have a new ball game. Packers and the Vikings. The Vikings can pull that, and do I think they're going to? No, but it's in Minnesota, which does change things. Minnesota wins that game. Now we're talking about a different bottom end of the NFC. Saints, Eagles. Who in the world could possibly have thought that would have playoff ramifications? The Saints starting Trevor Siemian and the Jalen Hurts-led Philadelphia Eagles. That has playoff considerations. And then you get, in my opinion, the three best games of the day. They're all 4 or later. Bengals at the Raiders, Cowboys at the Chiefs, Steelers at the Chargers. If you have plans this Sunday, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. It's going to tell you a lot about how these how the rest of this season is going to go. You know, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders. That could be an eliminator game. Not technically, not statistically, but emotionally.
The bigger thing on that is it's going to be, I think Week 11 in the NFL is going to be, I was trying to come up with a name for this earlier. This is where the cream starts to separate.
Yeah, but I said that last week about the New England-Cleveland game. Now, do you not still feel like, do you not feel like I was kind of right on that? That was an eliminator game, emotionally speaking. Not statistically. You still got a shot. But you getting stomped like that as the Cleveland Browns?
Well, that game just changes the way you feel. I thought the Browns and the Patriots were close. Now, nobody with an IQ above salad dressing can think that.
Right.
New England's markedly better than Cleveland.
Right. And I think that's how this Bengals-Raiders thing's going to go. Now, if it's super close and it's a last-second field goal, then maybe not. But what if? What if the Bengals come out and just blow their doors off? Or vice versa?
Oh, if somebody blows this out,
we're going to markedly think different.
The other team is headed because they're both sitting on 2-game losing streaks.
Right.
So whoever loses this game, especially if you get blown out, there is a potential spiral here that could be very hard to come out of.
Future stocks. We're going to talk about future stocks in the NFL. We're going to do that at the top of the 4 o'clock hour as we await the arrival of the hottest chicken in town. Jeremy lost the torture ticket bet this week, so he is going to have to eat the hottest of the hot chicken
and look,
from Rockies.
It's fantastic chicken. I love spicy food. Love it. I long said this would have been way funnier if you had lost it.
No doubt.
Because there's a possibility that I'm going to eat this and go, well, that was just delicious. And then I'm going to hate myself about 5 minutes after I eat it because it is so spicy. I also have ulcers, which I hope my doctor's not listening to this. Like, hey, you remember when I told you not to do that?
Right.
Yeah, don't do it as a promotional stunt.
Yeah, don't do it again.
Yeah, okay, don't do that.
So we are going to have a last call this afternoon on YouTube, so be sure to join us after this here program where you will get to see Jeremy in pain eating the hottest chicken that we could possibly get.
Did you at least get some ranch with it?
I did. Okay. I got you an extra ranch.
Okay.
I'm not going to be completely ruthless about this. I mean, I did send a note to Rockies with the order that said, "Hey, if you could make this the hottest thing you've ever made, I would really appreciate it."
Well, that you could have not done that. Did I do that with your wasabi? Hey, make it extra evil. No, I didn't do that.
But knowing that you've already eaten this chicken voluntarily, it does take a little something off. So I'm hoping that they can, spice it up a little.
The last time I ate this, I had to take a nap immediately afterwards because it is so spicy.
Hence why we have to do it after the program. So join us for the last call on the YouTube stream. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube stream as well. Join the House of Reprehensibles. We are the Sportsocracy, the Democratic Republic of Sports. It's the best way that you can get in touch with us during the program as well is through the YouTube chat. We will be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Clear tonight. Winds will stay light, and the overnight low will hover close to 40. It will be a warmer afternoon on Wednesday with sunshine. Winds out of the southwest and high of 70, and still dry Wednesday night with a low of 47. An approaching cold front will result in increasing clouds Thursday afternoon with some showers popping up later in the day as well. As the high hits the upper 60s, cooler air settles in behind the front. On Friday, a clearing trend will take place. It will be breezy with a high reaching 51. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Range Urgent Care.
Introducing Range Urgent Care House Calls. Get the care you need in the comfort of your home. Too sick to leave the house? Home alone with a sick child? Range Urgent Care will come to you. It's urgent care delivered. Visit rangeurgentcare.com to learn more and schedule your appointment.
I'm Sam Rappaport, host of Earnin' It, a new podcast about women who are breaking the NFL's glass ceilings.
I went to Darcy and said, look, I'd like to hire 2 coaches who happen to be female.
This story will be told by NFL head coaches, owners, and of course, the women themselves. I even go in with Commissioner Roger Goodell.
I didn't curse once, did I?
Listen to Earnin' It, the NFL's forward progress on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, break time?
I know you.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
Put your business top of mind with customers this holiday season. iHeart Ad Builder is the cost-effective way to create a custom radio ad that can reach customers wherever they go. Answer a few questions online, and Ad Builder does the rest. Get started at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
With the KFC app, you can get your chicken finger-licking quick. Quick, 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 quick. Park at the front, then skip the line. Skip, 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 skip the drive-through line. The quicker you get chicken, the quicker you can eat it. Eat it, your Kentucky Fried Chicken. Order on the KFC app or website. Quick, 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 quick. Quick, quick, pick up. Oh, the joys of KFC quick pick up. It's finger-licking quick.
Participation in lobby hours may vary. Use drive-thru if lobby is closed.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg and cheese, or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, the Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
No. You do not get to do that on losing weeks.
I don't get to do that when we lose.
We have been over this.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
The chat is about to go insane over that is a rule. We have set that rule that stupid button does not get to get hit when you lose.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. No,
you're not. I'm not. I'm not sorry at all. Sorry, but not sorry. It was a fun week in the NFL. Any given Sunday, we did have, my team got beat by one of the worst teams in the league. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens getting beat by the Miami Dolphins. Just every week. You can plan on something weird happening every week. This is the thing when we pick games. Like, I'm trying to figure out where's the next one coming. What's the next big upset that's going to happen in the NFL? And I can't do it. It's just like throwing darts at a board.
No, it's not quite that. There's one. There's one that I'm looking at.
Oh, there's one coming up this week?
Oh, that has Bad News Bears written all over it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And it would be what?
It's your team again.
No.
It's your team again.
Against the Giants?
It's your team again.
They ain't no way.
The number's way too high. I'm not talking about you losing. I'm talking about covering the spread.
I'm talking about losing.
We pick
you know
against
what?
the spread.
You know what normal people do? Looking at games and going, how are we? Because a loss to most people is a loss. It's not losing against the spread. Who cares?
No, it's not whether you win or lose. It's whether you cover the spread. 100%.
No, you're. I would say you are in the vast minority on that.
I'm going to say you're wrong. I would say a lot of people look at football much the way I do. Between
you're
fantasy
nowhere
football,
near in the majority, though.
I'm not as much. We're not as small a percentage as you think.
Mm-hmm.
Not as many people talk about it live on ESPN Radio as I do. And trust me, I check my Twitter mentions. I get asked a lot of gambling things.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't have a part in the game. I mean, that's why we talk about it. It's becoming a bigger and bigger part of the game. But still, most people look at it and go, an upset is a loss. It's not we didn't cover the spread.
I've been asked 2 questions about MAC football.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll have those picks for you at the end of the hour.
Oh,
it's
no.
Tuesday, which means it's Maction Tuesday. It's my favorite day of the
Did they
week.
just change the different day every week?
No.
Wasn't it Wednesday last week?
No, it's Tuesday last week.
Oh.
They start doing this. The MAC goes, hey, nobody really cares about us, so let's play on Tuesday. We'll compete with 3 NBA games.
Mm-hmm.
And MAC football will outrate all 3 of them, which I find to be hilarious.
Even more than the Warriors and the Nets tonight?
That one might outrate it. That's 2 really popular teams.
Oh, you got Steph Curry going up against Kevin Durant.
Oh, wait.
Coming up in Green on Green at the end of this hour. No, I mean, I'm talking pure loss. A pure loss this week that would surprise everybody. I would say it's Minnesota-Green Bay. That might be the most likely on the schedule.
Maybe. I don't. Again, I'm going to like Minnesota probably against the number.
Or would you still put Kansas City in that? Would you still have Kansas City in that? I mean,
you're going to learn a lot about Kansas City this week.
Right. Would you be terribly shocked if Kansas City knocked off the Dallas Cowboys?
Terribly shocked? No.
No. So I don't know. I mean, we get that they've been playing poorly up until last week. It all, the skies opened up. The heavens opened up for the Kansas City Chiefs last week against the Las Vegas Raiders. So I can't put that in the upset category. I think if I had to put a confidence score on the upset this week, it would be Minnesota. Minnesota over Green Bay.
Oh, I'm sure I will have a couple by the end of the week.
Mm-hmm. We know you will.
Kind of like San Francisco and Miami.
All right, let's get just a bit outside.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
All right, since I don't know when else we're going to talk about it, Justin Fuente. It's not too Fuente anymore.
He's not too caliente, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because his seat was very, and now he just doesn't have a seat.
Yeah, it was very fuego, and old Fuente is now bye-bye.
Yeah.
No more Justin Fuente at Virginia Tech. He is out as the head football coach, and they are already talking about who's going to take that job.
It's one person.
It's Beamer.
No.
Shane Beamer?
No. The first call is Hugh Freeze. No doubt. There is no other call you make. Now, if he tells you no, which he very well may, then you go to Shane Beamer. This is a 2-call job. You go to Hugh Freeze and go, Hugh, just, what number needs to be on this check for you to feel real good about being a Hokie?
Justin Fuente is out. They have negotiated a buyout. It was originally $10 million. They negotiated it down to $8.75 million. It just never worked. It never worked with Justin Fuente of Virginia Tech. They tried to make it into something that I think they tried to make him into something that he wasn't. Saying that, we're not going to lose a step from the Beamer era and all of that. And it was too much to live up to.
Well, this should be a cautionary tale. Because if you remember, Justin Fuente was a hot coaching candidate.
Oh, yeah.
Beamer retires. This was the guy to go get in that hiring cycle.
Like the other guy.
Mike
from
Norvell.
Memphis. What was it? Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that's another cautionary tale.
Uh-huh.
Just understand, because college football teams, this is kind of what I've said about Dan Mullen. If you want to fire a guy, you do you. Just understand, your hit rate of the guy that replaces him is not all that great. That's the reason I'm saying Virginia Tech's a very intriguing job. That's a job that's going to have a lot of people that really want it. Jamie Chadwell at Coastal Carolina, I could easily see him wanting that. Billy Napier at Louisiana. And then you get back to Shane Beamer. If you want the one that tugs on the heartstrings, just understand that had South Carolina not lost to Missouri Saturday, they'd be bowl eligible.
Yep.
With a team that's played a grad assistant at quarterback. Do they have a whole lot of big-time wins? No. I mean, they beat Florida. That's good.
Yeah.
To me, the home run hire is Hugh Freeze.
Sure.
He's in Virginia now. He's been recruiting the area. He's an ace recruiter. Virginia Tech has more money than you think they do. They're top 35 nationally, I think, in athletic budget.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's going to be an intriguing job.
Yeah.
But to me, it's two calls. It's Hugh Freeze, and if he says no, then you go to Shane Beamer.
Yep. Virginia Tech, some had a lot of high hopes for him coming into this season. They're 5-5 now, getting ready to take on Miami, and it's just didn't happen. So they have cut loose Justin Fuente, and that's another pretty high-profile college football job that is now open.
There's another high-profile job open in college football.
USC?
LSU.
Oh, LSU.
The firing of old Cookie Monster. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
Has left that job open. Much speculation has been had that there could be a reunion of sorts with a former friend, Texas A&M head coach Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, gosh.
He was asked about this yesterday, and he had what might possibly be the funniest response I've ever heard in my life. He was asked again if he would be interested in the LSU job. His response was, we're going to recruit an unbelievable class this year. So I'm the dumbest human being on God's earth to recruit all these guys to A&M so I can go over there and go play against them once a year. That's the greatest response I've ever heard.
Yep.
And do you know what the response to that was?
What's that?
He just signed the number 3 running back in the country today. Trust me, the reason that kid signed was his answer to that. This is what Jimbo Fisher does. As well, if not better than every coach in the country. When it gets loud around him, he is a master at controlling the narrative. He did this with Florida State. That's why we all knew he was going to – all Florida State boosters, we all knew he was going to leave because he stopped doing that. As soon as he stopped quieting all the noise when the Texas A&M thing came up, okay, he's gone.
Right.
He's too good at this.
Why would you?
Why would you what?
Why would you leave that job? Why would you leave Texas A&M to go to LSU?
There's a prestige difference. I could understand why he would do it. His answer, on the other hand, tells me he's not going anywhere. Which probably, plus the AD at LSU is the AD that hired him at Woodward was the AD at Texas A&M that hired him away from Florida State.
Yes.
There are a lot of connections there. I never thought that. I mean, it made sense to make the call. You can't out-money Texas A&M.
No. And here's the thing. I heard somebody talking about this. I don't remember who it was the other day that was talking on the radio about this, but they were saying, well, maybe he feels like he's done all he can do at Texas A&M. Well, he's been there, 3 years?
This is 3, yeah.
Yeah. He's been there 3 years. He had them just on the outside of the college football playoff last year.
No, he's been longer. He's been there longer than that. Because we had Willie Taggart for,
that's right.
for 2 just.
So 4 years?
Yeah, this was his 4th year.
Yeah.
We had 2 wonderful years of Willie Taggart. Would you like to hear the great memories I have of that? Would you like to hear it again?
You turned on him in a half of football. I will never forget that.
It wasn't in a half.
It was the opener against
half a quarter.
Boise State.
Yeah. And we came out and we just looked phenomenal. And we were up a bajillion. And went in at halftime, and we were trailing by the end of the 3rd quarter. And I went, nope, You are not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the exact same thing with Mike Norvell.
Yes, you did. You get really, really excited about these guys, and then it doesn't go your way.
I was much more cautionary about Mike Norvell, though.
Right. I can't see Jimbo Fisher walking away from this job. Like, to me, this is a job that either one, you stay there forever, and you're going to, build something and retire, or it's a step to another bigger job. And I don't know that LSU's all that bigger.
Oh, it's certainly a bigger job. It's a much more prestigious job. It's certainly, historically, a much more prestigious job.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is that you always follow the money. Always follow the money. And Texas A&M prints it. Now, in terms of, LSU, I've always said there's two names that make sense at LSU. It's James Franklin and Dave Aranda.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There aren't others.
I think Dave Aranda's the answer.
It probably will be, because I think James Franklin's going to take USC. James Franklin takes USC, Aranda takes LSU, and then Matt Rule winds up taking the Penn State job.
Mm-hmm.
That's if I had to bet it right now, that's how I would say that happens.
Because you still feel like Matt Rule was strong-armed into the Cam Newton thing.
Oh, 100% I do. I can tell you right now, I'm not signing up for that.
You don't buy it?
I can go back to Penn State, where all I have to do, first of all, James Franklin could stay at Penn State for the rest of his life. They'd build statues to him.
Indeed.
Because he got them back in the top 10 and got them back to national relevance.
Mm-hmm.
All Matt Rule has to do is be as good as he was at Baylor. They'll build a statue to him outside of in Happy Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's exactly how I think that goes.
And then Joe Brady becomes the new head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Panther fans would love that. Yeah, that same guy you were trying to get fired a week ago.
Right, run out of town on a rail. Just 6 days ago.
And who knows, maybe Texas gets uncomfortable after you lost to Kansas and fire Steve Sarkisian.
Mm-hmm.
Any other school, I would say, that's stupid. You would never do that. They always said the same thing about Tom Herman. So,
coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about buying future stocks in NFL teams. Because there's a story today. The Green Bay Packers putting up stock in the team, up for sale for the first time in 10 years. So we're going to talk about buying stock in NFL futures by franchise in the next hour. But before we get into that, we got to talk about the college football playoff, because the playoff rankings come out tonight. And who's shocked? Nothing's changed at the top.
No, Georgia's still the one.
Top.
I mean, here's the thing. There's 8 teams that can make the playoff.
Agreed.
That's it. I mean, the way this playoff's going to go is, I would say, as set in stone as I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alabama is not losing to Auburn, and they're not – who do they play? Arkansas?
Yeah.
And that's 2 good enough wins to probably prop you up if you lose close to Georgia. And if they get blown out, now we're into chaos theory.
Right.
I don't know what would happen then.
Right. Should they lose by 30 in the SEC championship game and not put up a point against Georgia, which I think is out of the realm of possibility, then maybe they don't get in.
That's the second most intriguing option to me.
Mm-hmm.
The most intriguing is, what happens if Georgia loses to Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
If you lose to Alabama, how is this ranked? I've been asked that 2 times in a week, and my answer's been completely different both times.
Alabama goes to 1.
I don't agree with you. I really don't. Because Georgia's loss would be to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's loss is to Texas A&M.
Yeah, but you can't rank.
Yes, you can.
No.
You're about to say, they lost to them. Trust me, they do it all the time.
Yeah.
Notre Dame tonight will probably be ahead of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not, they're going to be 1 spot behind them. And the minute Cincinnati doesn't beat somebody by 30, Notre Dame will leapfrog them.
Yeah.
The head-to-head thing, does it matter? Yes. Is it the end-all, be-all? No.
No, it's not. I mean, last week we had the playoff rankings came out, and Michigan was ranked ahead of Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan State beat Michigan not 2 weeks ago, and everybody
was... What was the rationale?
The losses were different.
The loss for Michigan was better than the loss for Michigan State.
Yeah.
They have made it very clear that matters. I'm not going to say more than anything.
I just don't know about that at that point.
Oh, I do. Georgia's been the number 1 team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So long as they don't get blown out, let's say that's a field goal, Georgia's still the one.
Oh, okay.
Georgia's still the one.
Okay.
No doubt. Alabama would then be the 2,
mm-hmm.
and you would be setting up for the 2 of them to play each other again.
Right. which is kind of how I think they want it to go anyway.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there is virtually no way that you're going to see Georgia-Alabama again in the playoff before the title game.
No.
I think even if Georgia smoked Alabama, I mean, beat them by 17, I still think they're the 3.
Mm-hmm.
They're the 3 to keep them away from Georgia, and then that 4th spot goes to Oregon.
Or Cincinnati.
Oh, please be Cincinnati.
Yeah, let's do that again.
You know what? I'm officially to the same spot with Cincinnati that I was with Carolina signing Cam Newton. Do it.
Yeah.
Please
let's see it.
I want to see this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, what would the score of that game be?
Georgia,
I can tell
Cincinnati?
you what the line was because I asked.
Georgia, Cincinnati, the score of that game would be 31-3.
You're right about where I would be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I go ahead and tell you the Vegas line would start at 24.
Agreed.
Georgia would be. I actually asked a handicapper, what would this be set at?
Yeah.
It's 24.
Yeah.
Georgia would be a 24-point favorite against Cincinnati.
Agreed.
So
and
if
I
you're
think
curious
it would be
what Vegas thinks about that, that's exactly what they think about that.
And I think Cincinnati would be best served if they don't get in and they can do the UCF thing, where they can play the victim and, we didn't get into the playoff and we should have been. You're better off being that than getting in and being exposed.
And getting smoked because they'll never do it again.
Mm-hmm.
The expansion, you rest assured, that group of 5 champion that they let in will be the 12 every single year.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So number 8 in our college football playoff ranking for this week is going to be who?
I don't know. I thought you had the list. It's a Big Ten team. That's all I can remember.
I thought you made the graphic.
If we've recorded 4 shows today, exactly at what point did I have to do that?
I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to unveil the graphic.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Michigan State's the 8. They have the best running back in college football, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going. I mean, they've still got a shot.
To me, they're the team that's hanging on by an absolute thread, and would need a level of chaos unseen in college football.
Just
to get
win,
in.
baby. Just win.
I see. To me, it's not just win. They would need more than that.
They need more than to run the table and be the Big Ten champion.
Mm-hmm. Because Notre Dame would still get in over them. Oh, you mark my words. Notre Dame would still 100% get in over them.
After they beat Ohio State.
Doesn't matter. There's too many questions
Michigan.
about. Yeah, see, but by then, because here's how that would go. First of all, this is as hypothetical as it gets because they're going to get smoked by Ohio State.
Right.
Let's say they beat Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State would take their anger out on Michigan, and now that win doesn't look as imperative as it did before. Notre Dame's schedule's better. Notre Dame just cruises right. You looked at me funny. Michigan State's played 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame will have lost one of them.
And Notre Dame's schedule is better?
Oh, yeah. Notre Dame doesn't have a Rutgers on their schedule. There's not one of those.
Okay.
That's the reason that Notre Dame always gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever wants to talk about that. Yeah, Notre Dame doesn't necessarily have the high-end wins because the best team they played, they lost to. You still played USC's and Stanford's not particularly good. But,
right.
But there's no Charleston Southern or anything like that.
No, there's Navy?
Yeah, Navy's not particularly good.
Right. I mean...
But still, Navy's not Charleston Southern. And the only reason I keep using that's because that's who Georgia plays this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a shot. It's just that's why they always get in because their strength of schedule is leaps and bounds ahead of most teams.
Right.
Because you don't have an unlistable FCS team on your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get Vanderbilt. I'm trying to think of the worst team, the Big Ten. There are a few. Rutgers. Illinois.
No, we had Toledo. And Navy.
Hey, don't you throw shade on Toledo. That's Maction, baby. Don't you throw shade on my... The MAC is playing competitive Tuesday football.
All right. The number 8 team in the playoff, Michigan State. We got to take a break. and we got to go do Greene on Greene. So we'll carry this over to the next hour. We'll reveal the rest of the college football playoff ranking here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Your picks of the night up next.
We're here! Thanksgiving. It's part of the fabric and culture of our country. What a great time for families to reconnect and hand down generations of stories. Not only does Thanksgiving build the bonds of family, but also our neighborhoods and communities.
Well, are you coming?
I was just waiting for you to ask.
Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways for children of all ages to learn about sustainability and environmental education at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your deodorant rash, your favorite cheese, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Oh, what kind of dog is that? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. Our hot, buttery breakfast biscuits are loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and your choice of bacon or sausage. And right now at Wendy's, they're only $1 each.
Wendy's breakfast biscuits, just $1.
So don't take a chance with those other guys. Bet your buck on a better breakfast with Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price of participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo. Excludes honey butter chicken biscuit.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Coffee store closes on me.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's one of my favorite days of the week. It's Tuesday, which means we have all the betting Maction. I got 3 Mac picks for you. I got 1 NBA pick. I'll throw the NBA pick out there first. The Golden State Warriors taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Golden State is a 3-point dog. I still don't look at this Nets team missing Kyrie Irving. I don't think they're as good as everybody thinks they are. I know they've had some games. James Harden's getting more acclimated. I don't want to give up 3 points to Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. He's been playing outrageously well. And I just don't see me giving 3 points to Golden State. I'm going to take Golden State plus the 3. I would take them in the money line. I think they win this outright. My first MAC pick, Toledo, is a 7.5 point dog or 7.5 point favorite tonight at Ohio. Ohio runs the ball really well. There's only one problem. Toledo is exponentially better than they are, and they play one of the weirdest defenses you'll ever see. They play 3-3-5. Bettors seem to be looking at that going, oh, they'll be able to run. No, because it's the biggest 3-3-5 in the history of creation. I'm taking Toledo minus the 7.5. Eastern Michigan is a 6.5 point dog tonight at Eastern Michigan. I really wanted this to get to 7. It never did, and so I finally just had to lay it at 6.5. I think this is too many. I don't necessarily think that you're going to see Eastern Michigan win this game, but they're at home, and they're pretty good. And I really wish it's gotten to 7, but give me EMU plus 6.5. Finally, Miami of Ohio is a 17 point favorite tonight against Bowling Green. Bowling Green is bad. Bad. Miami of Ohio quarterback Brett Gabbert is back. I can't say they're the best team in the MAC, but they're pretty close with him under center. He's back tonight. This is going to be a shellacking. Give me Miami of Ohio minus 17.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And how much of a script do you have to read on those MAC games, or do you actually know these guys?
There was no script on that.
Oh
you can literally, I was looking at my phone, which if you're looking at the YouTube stream, it's just my Action Network profile.
That's crazy.
I am that big of a degenerate that I know who Brett Gabbert is.
That is crazy.
I also remember his name because for the longest time I thought he was related to Blaine Gabbert. Because I made jokes on Twitter.
How many Gabberts can there be? I mean, really?
Well, I mean, one of them was a really good quarterback, and the other one backed up Tom Brady. So it's not that hard to remember names.
Oh, we got a Monkey Knife Fight on tap tonight as well. There's always Monkey Knife Fights. Daily fantasy sports props to be fun to be had at monkeyknifefight.com. Create your account today. Use our promo code TANK, T-A-N-K. When you set up your account and make your initial investment, they will match it up to $50 and give you a $5 free play, which you could use on tonight's free money game.
I am playing the more or less 4X multiplier. Very rarely do I tell you that there's free money to be had.
Stepping up.
This is free money to be had. I am playing the more or less 4X multiplier between the Brooklyn Nets and the Golden State Warriors. If you have not signed up with Monkey Knife Fight, today is the day. I am taking more than 21.5 points for James Harden. I am taking more than 7.5 rebounds for Draymond Green. That will take your $20 buy-in and turn it into an $80 prize at monkeyknifefight.com.
Nice.
If you haven't done it, today's the day. This is a free money play. The over-under in this game is real high. Who do you think is going to score all of these points? Kevin Durant's going to score a ton, don't get me wrong. How is James Harden going to be held below 21.5 points? Who is supposed to stop it? Andrew Wiggins? Really? Draymond Green, less than 7.5 rebounds? You must think he gets in foul trouble. That's the only way that makes any sense to me, because he's going to be defending Kevin Durant.
No, you know what's going to kill him? He was on Manningcast last night.
Hey, you know what? You're right. Under 7.5. No, I'm totally kidding. I mean, look, I'm superstitious, but that Manningcast thing is getting ridiculous.
The college football playoff rankings do come out tonight. We will run down the rest of our top 8. I mean, really, there's no sense in going any further than 8.
That's all. There's only 8 teams that can get in.
That's
9
all they got
would
a
be
shot.
Oklahoma State. Do you know how much chaos has to happen for Oklahoma State to get in?
Bunch.
Somebody other than Michigan State or Ohio State has to win the Big Ten.
Come on,
That's
Minnesota.
the only way. I don't even think it's Minnesota anymore because they lost. Thanks, Minnesota.
Oh, did you lose that one this weekend?
It pushed. It was my 7-4-1 was my one.
Yikes.
Right now, there's a tie at the top of the West in the Big Ten. It's Wisconsin and Iowa.
The Hawkeyes trying to reclaim some of their glory from falling so fast in the rankings at the beginning of the season.
I almost want that to happen just so the College Football Playoff Committee just goes, hey, you know what? This year, 3 teams. Sorry. We're only letting in 3 this year.
You got stock options opening up for the first time in 10 years for an NFL franchise. We'll talk future stock options as well for NFL franchises coming up in the next hour, as well as revealing the rest of our top 8 in the college football playoff ranking.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Clear tonight, winds will stay light and the overnight low will hover close to 40. It will be a warmer afternoon on Wednesday with sunshine, winds out of the southwest and high of 70, and still dry Wednesday night with a low of 47. An approaching cold front will result in increasing clouds Thursday afternoon with some showers popping up later in the day as well. As the high hits the upper 60s, cooler air settles in behind the front. On Friday, a clearing trend will take place. It will be breezy with a high reaching 51. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex 12-Hour. Mucinex DM's bilayer tablet allows for immediate and extended release, relieving both wet and dry coughs and loosening chest congestion for 12 hours. Mucinex is your trusted partner to help relieve cough and chest congestion and get your body back into control. Available at Walmart.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Avoid the gridlock of having to sort through hundreds of resumes to find great people. Indeed's hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place. To find your next great hire, visit Indeed.com/credit.
The thing about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive. We don't even need the words the Home and Auto Bundle anymore to tell you that you could save big with the ring-tailed lemur from Progressive, or that every hot peach cobbler comes with round-the-clock service and protection. And that's the thing about the goat with magic powers. You've heard a lot of ads about the sushi in Vancouver. See how much you could save with the Home and Auto with the Shaman in the Jungle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio stations.
Lineup. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, James could return from an abdominal strain Friday against the Celtics. When LeBron does come back, he returns to an LA team that's scuffling, which is maddening to ESPN's Kendrick Perkins.
We see a lot of hero my-turn basketball on the offensive end where they take shots at the basket and you're like, what are you doing? And then defensively, they're just not there. I just don't understand how you have a group of veterans that can't come together and sacrifice and show and play winning basketball on a consistent basis.
NFL, the Steelers are building this week's game plan around getting quarterback Mason Rudolph ready to play Sunday against the Chargers, but the team, in the words of Coach Mike Tomlin, is leaving the light on for Ben Roethlisberger. If Roethlisberger returns from the COVID-19 list, Tomlin says he'll be capable of executing the game plan. Baseball, from ESPN's Jeff Passan, Angels and righty Noah Syndergaard agreed on a one-year, $21 million deal. Comes after he received a qualifying offer from the Mets of $18.4 million.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Black Friday event with early access savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more. Plus, free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword BAG to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's BAG to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and you can get involved in the chat room right now in the YouTube stream. All you got to do is just go to the sportsocracy.com, click on the live video. It's very simple, and then all you got to do is hit the little subscribe button. And you get alerts every time we're on.
And we're taking one of you with us to Vegas.
Yes, we are.
We are going to Las Vegas for the NFL Draft, and we are taking one lucky YouTube subscriber with us. Existing subscribers, new subscribers, you're all entered.
Yeah.
All of you.
You really want to see what happens when the cheapest guy on the planet goes to Vegas?
Yeah, Tank Spencer will gamble an entire week on a roll of quarters. And I will make fun of him copiously.
Penny slot.
I will be in that room that says high roller above it.
Really?
I will be
big dog over here.
I'll be throwing little crescent rolls at Tank out the door, like, here, you take one of these.
Hey, can I have one of your free drinks?
That's all it takes for you. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
You'd have one of my free drinks as you go back to the hotel room. I don't know where I am anymore.
Right. Anyhow, we are going to be taking one of our YouTube followers with us to Vegas for the NFL Draft coming up this April. All you got to do is just be involved in the chat.
All you got to do, get YouTube stream, subscribe, join the House of Reprehensibles, and here we go.
Yeah, tell your friends about it as well, and away we go. So right next to the subscribe button, there's also a join button that you can hit to join the House of Reprehensibles.
Adam Black in the chat just said Tangle will take doggy bags to the buffets. Not with me, he won't. That is a good way for us to eat dinner separately. I will be like, no, that is not how this works.
Nobody sees that. There's a little pouch inside the coat jacket.
There are days you say things that, like, I get this just dull little headache, and it's right here.
What? I like value.
Okay, no good could come from what I was getting ready to say.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Speaking of value, we are going to get everything everything that I paid for coming up on the last call after this show. Just hang in with us here on the YouTube stream. The last call will begin shortly after this here program, and Jeremy is going to have to pay off the torture ticket. I have ordered the hottest chicken possible from Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack. I even asked them to make it extra spicy if they could. So that is going to be delivered here to the radio station right around 4:45, thanks to the fine folks over at Takeout Central. And Jeremy is going to pay it off and have to eat the hottest chicken that I could find.
I am going to do the last call, the after show of the ESPN show for our House of Reprehensibles members. You do have to be a member of that to see this live. So go to YouTube, hit the join button. You can see this live. And I may literally sweat through my shirt. I did the last time I did this, and It's been a long time ago.
So anyway, YouTube stream, sportsocracy.com. You can hook up with us there. You know how all that stuff works, probably much better than I do, because I am an 80-year-old man trapped inside a 39-year-old man's body.
That's why all the buttons are over here in front of me.
Yes, I have all the archaic audio-only radio buttons over here in front of me. College football playoff rankings come out tonight. We all know who's going to be at the top of the rankings, but how do things shake out from there? Our number 8 team this week is the Michigan State Spartans. Number 7 this week, it's the Michigan Wolverines. You got to keep the Big Ten, the top teams in the Big Ten, here in the 7-8 spots. And should they be able to pull out a win over Ohio State, then we'll see what happens.
These are the 3 teams that I think have a legitimate shot to win the Big Ten. But I mean, because they're all playing each other. So Ohio State and Michigan State play this weekend. Yes. Ohio State and Michigan play next weekend. So whoever wins twice is going to win this conference.
Indeed. And whoever wins is going to get in over Notre Dame. I still can't go down that path with you. The wins are going to be better than anything Notre Dame can throw out there.
I don't know that look, I said a Big Ten team was getting in regardless. Whoever wins the Big Ten, as long as it's one of these 3. I mean, you're not getting Iowa or something like that in there. But as long as whoever wins the Big Ten title game is one of these 3 teams, they will get in. That's why there's 8 teams left that can still get in.
Who is the best win on Notre Dame's schedule? Is it still Wisconsin?
Probably.
And they got Wisconsin, Purdue.
Hey, don't you slight my Florida State Seminoles.
That's not a good win. You know it.
They just smoked Virginia. Carolina's good. I mean, that's the thing, though. They've got like 7 good wins. Because Purdue is still a good win. Wisconsin's a good win. Virginia Tech is an average win.
But then pales in comparison to
what?
Say Michigan State. Should Michigan State beat Ohio State? I got wins over Ohio State and Michigan. That's better than anything you can throw at me.
Thing, I just can't. I can't get to a path where that's going to happen. I think they're. I mean, yeah, if it's Michigan State,
yeah, you think
but
they're going to get smoked this
your
week.
argument point that I wasn't trying to make.
Yeah,
as long as it's one of those 3 teams, whoever wins the Big Ten's getting in. Okay. That's not who I said Notre Dame was getting in ahead of.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that in just a second. Michigan is number 7. They got to play Maryland this week, but of course everybody's got their eyes set on next week in the Ohio State matchup. Can Jim Harbaugh get the win over Ohio State?
Wait for it. Patrick Holt.
I'm your huckleberry.
Welcome to Penny's the House of Reprehensibles. Man, I forgot to do that again.
Oh, come on.
We need an assistant. I need somebody to tell me, hey, you remember the thing you said? You should do that. Or notes. I can also take notes. That's a thing. I should do that more often than I do.
Yeah. Michigan's a team, though, once they get into the college football playoff, if they get into the college football playoff, do you like them to make any kind of noise?
They're a difficult team to play. Just solely because the defense is good. I mean, they can hit you from multiple directions on the defense.
But say they did get in. Say they got in at the 4 seed.
Oh, they'd get
and
killed.
It was
by
Georgia and Michigan.
They get killed by Georgia.
All right. I just wanted to see where your thoughts were on that.
All of these teams are in that. I don't care who makes it from the Big Ten. You get in as the 4 and you have to play Georgia, take luck. Bye.
Take luck?
Have you never done that?
No.
I do this all the time at fast food drive-thrus. People say, enjoy your food, and I go, you too?
Yeah.
Oh. You don't have food. You handed me my food.
Oh, I thought this was
then
like
you gotta say take care, good luck. You just combine them together. Take luck. I think it's a Brian Regan joke.
Yeah, I think that is a Brian Regan joke.
Take luck. I always feel
I
like
thought this was a George W. Bush wings take dream kind of a scenario.
No, I always feel like an idiot when I do that. Enjoy your food. You too.
Yeah.
Oh. You're handing me my food. Right. I will see myself out now.
I do that. I do that to everybody. It's always programmed responses for me, and they don't have to make sense. I just go on with the day. Notre Dame is number 6 in the rankings this week. They got Georgia Tech coming up this weekend. It's a game that they should win handily, and they're just waiting. They're just waiting their turn. All you got to do is win out and just wait for chaos to happen in front of you.
And I don't know that they have to have chaos.
Okay, describe that level of chaos where it's not chaos, but they do get in.
I think they get in over Oregon. Oregon has name their second best win. I'll wait.
Oregon's second best win?
Oh, I can tell you what it would be.
Arizona
it would be
State?
this week. It would be at Utah.
Yeah.
That would be their second best win of the year. There are 2 teams in that entire conference that have 3 losses or less. That conference is dog water. I genuinely, all Oregon has to do is struggle. You have to not beat Utah or Oregon State, which, by the way,
they're a dog.
Do what?
They're a dog to Utah this week.
Yeah, because at Utah. If they struggle in this game, I'm telling you, they'll put Notre Dame ahead of them. Because their one win was Ohio State before they figured it out. Fun game. When I asked what the line with Cincinnati and Georgia would be, what do you think the line with Oregon and Ohio State would be today?
Ohio State minus 14.
You missed it by a point and a half. It's 12.5. It's Ohio State by 12.5.
Yep.
Oregon's not the same team they were. No C.J. Verdell. They're just not the same team.
Even the backup running back got hurt, didn't he? Yeah, Die.
And now his brother is the the running back. Troy Dye is the one that got hurt. I think the other's name's Travis.
Yeah, we'll get to Oregon in just a second. But Notre Dame is sitting at 6, and it won't be long It won't be long before they climb these rankings.
They don't need much chaos. Their one loss is to a Cincinnati team. Cincinnati keeps struggling with mediocre teams. And for Notre Dame's credit, they haven't done that.
Cincinnati is number 5.
I genuinely don't see a way that they get in.
You're not getting an invite to this party. And, I mean, sure, you got to win out. And, you're going to have to you're going to have to face Houston in the conference championship game. You got SMU coming up this week, which is not going to be easy. I'm not saying Southern Miss is going to win that, or Southern Miss. Southern Methodist is going to win that game. But I don't think this is going to be one that they're going to win easily. But you're going to find out. I mean, SMU scores, I think they're like 35th in points per game this year. They score about 40 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put that Cincinnati defense to the test this week.
I keep trying to find a way that Cincinnati actually gets in. I really do. And I can't find one.
Everybody's going to lose.
And when you say everybody, how deep does everybody go?
Oregon and Ohio State. The two teams in front of them have to lose right now.
Michigan and Michigan State would get in over them. Because if Ohio State loses, whoever they lose to is the Big Ten champion. Because then you would have a 3-way tie with 3 one-loss teams.
Mm-hmm.
And Ohio State would lose tiebreaker both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what that tiebreaker is. There's a 3-way tiebreaker in the Big Ten that basically whoever beats Ohio State, they would lose to.
Right.
That team would get in. I don't care if it's Michigan State. I don't care if it's Michigan. The only way it wouldn't, I don't actually see a way that it wouldn't. They would have to lose the other game they play, and that's not going to happen.
Right. You're assuming a Big Ten championship win for whoever comes out of that conference.
I don't
or
think
that division.
I don't think Iowa or Wisconsin. I mean, that's what it would take.
I don't either, but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, Ohio State loses, and then one of those teams slips up against Iowa in the conference championship game, then Cincinnati gets in.
And see, even then, I don't even know that I would do it then. I think it would be Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, and Notre Dame.
But Oregon loses as well. See, that's what I'm saying. Both of the teams have to lose in front of them. Oregon loses, Ohio State loses, it knocks them out. Cincinnati and Notre Dame would then get in if they win out. It's a lot of chaos.
We should have had 9 teams in this. Because if what you just said were to happen, and now we're super down a hypothetical rabbit hole.
Oklahoma State's the one.
If they beat Oklahoma and Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And then win the...
And then beat Oklahoma in the championship game.
They have 2 wins over Oklahoma. They would make it in over Cincinnati.
Okay, maybe so. Maybe so. But right now, Cincinnati's on the outside looking in. And look, congratulations. You beat South Florida. Yeah, you struggled for at least a half of that game in doing so. That's a 2-7 AAC team. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. You got to put up style points, and Cincinnati hasn't been able to do it.
And that's the
and they get no love.
That's the thing with Cincinnati is it's just nothing impressive about them.
Oh, the defense is really good.
And the thing I've always said. The thing I've always said with Cincinnati and any group of 5 team, they're much like Schrodinger's cat, which is the second time I've used this reference in 2 weeks, and it's the second different thing I've used it about. The problem with group of 5 teams is once we let you in and we see what would happen, we can never unsee it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it can be a fun little talking point. Yeah, what would happen if Cincinnati played Georgia? And we can all secretly, behind closed doors, they'd get beat by 50.
Right.
But then once you do it, we can never unsee it.
But until you do it, you'll never know. No, we know.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
We know.
I think 80% of the college football watching public knows what would happen if that went down. Oh, they played them close last year. Stop saying that. Because Georgia didn't have it didn't have half of their starters show up for that game.
See, that's the argument that always irritates me. Like, they stay close in these New Year's 6 games. Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, they're playing a team that wanted to be in the playoff and didn't get in.
Mm-hmm.
And then half their guys don't play in the bowl game. And, we only lost by a field goal. Yeah, and if all the starters played, you lost by 3 touchdowns.
Right.
And if they cared, you would have probably lost by 5.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Number 4, Ohio State. They play Michigan State this weekend. I was close to putting Ohio State at 3 above Oregon.
I considered it.
Because they've looked so impressive the last couple of weeks. The offense has been putting up style points, and the Oregon loss is well in the rearview mirror.
See, and I just don't look at it that way, because I don't look at Purdue as a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you blew out Indiana, and you blew out Maryland, and you blew out Rutgers and Akron. I don't care. All these teams are bad.
But that's a Purdue team that just came off a Michigan State win.
I don't care. That was a letdown game. It's college football. You know exactly how this works. Purdue did the same thing to Michigan, or did the same thing to Iowa. They beat Iowa and then went out the next week and got slaughtered. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because they're not very good. They're a team with one player. They have David Bell. That's it.
Right.
The one game you've played against a realistic, high-end Big Ten team, you beat Penn State by 9. And that's not a good team. That's a terrible offense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the reason I got them behind Oregon, is the only tiebreaker there. I don't think either one of them are all that good.
Mm-hmm.
So the tiebreaker for me is that Ohio State lost to Oregon. That's how deep it has to get for me to care that you lost to them head-to-head.
Right. Like I said, I almost considered it. But to me, still, Oregon has the best win out of anybody in the college football playoff right now. In the top 4, that win over number 3 Ohio State, still the best win anybody's got. So you're going to continue to get that. And here's the other thing. They keep winning, and I know that their conference isn't great, but they do keep winning despite all of the hurdles that have been in their way. I mean, Mario Cristobal has done a great job with this team this year, in my belief.
He has.
Because you went out and got Anthony Brown, and then you lost what? Only like 5. Yeah, but it's been like 5 impact players on the team that have gotten hurt, and you don't have anymore, but you keep winning games.
Here's my problem with Oregon. To really validate, they keep winning in their conference, and okay, then you have to give the same validity to Cincinnati. Because I would argue the AAC is pretty close to the Pac-12. I mean, head to toe, in the Pac-12, you get to just gross fast.
Mm-hmm. But still, is not Colorado better than half of that league?
I don't know that they are.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Colorado's not good.
I know they're not good, but that was kind of the point that I was trying to make, was even the worst of the Power 5 teams are still better than half of the lesser conferences.
And by the way, the worst team in the Pac-12 is Arizona. Arizona lost to Northern
We're not counting Arizona because then that gets into crazy talk. I mean, they're not as good as the worst team in the SoCon, so...
Yeah, you might not be right.
I mean, they lost to Northern Arizona on their home field. That's bad.
Might not be wrong.
So, that's an outlier to me.
By the way, that team, just for posterity's sake, I would be remiss if I didn't point this out. You remember how I said that the best win for Oregon would be against Utah?
Yes.
They just pushed Utah to the brink in Utah.
Arizona did?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a one-possession game with, I think, 5 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
Just understand that's what you're dealing with here.
Right. Number 2 is Alabama.
And they will be.
Of course they will be. Because they play the toughest schedule, or one of the toughest schedules in the country, and they're just head and shoulders better than everybody except for one team. That's the number 1 team in Georgia. Georgia continues to roll, and I'm going to continue to try to mealy-mouth my way around this and not say any definitive statements because I don't want to mess up the mojo that's going here. They handled Tennessee pretty well. And I get Tennessee's not, a top 10 team. But the way that defense was able to dominate against Tennessee should tell you something. It's one of the best offenses in the country. And so, while it doesn't look great on the resume, being able to handle Tennessee the way they did is saying something. So Georgia's 1, Alabama's 2. You got Oregon at 3, Ohio State at 4. I don't know that anything is going to change from here on. Yeah. I mean, look, Oregon is a dog this week to Utah.
Which is stupid.
I think so too, but there's a lot of people who believe that they can't go on the road and win at Utah. I think they'll roll through, and I think this is going to be the Final Four that we're left with. And everybody's going to keep, Cincinnati needs a shot. No, they don't. Sorry about that.
They don't.
Right.
It was a cute story while it lasted.
It was. Poor old Desmond Ritter can continue to play the victim. And the AAC commissioner is just going to be drunk.
Oh, shucks.
Drunker than he is in public.
We lost. We didn't get a shot. That's not fair. Oh, well, that's sad.
Yeah. Playoff rankings come out tonight. We shall see. And, of course, if anything crazy happens, we will update you on it. We will talk NFL future stock coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Clear tonight, winds will stay light and the overnight low will hover close to 40. It will be a warmer afternoon on Wednesday with sunshine, winds out of the southwest and high of 70, and still dry Wednesday night with a low of 47. An approaching cold front will result in increasing clouds Thursday afternoon with some showers popping up later in the day as well. As the high hits the upper 60s, cooler air settles in behind the front. On Friday, a clearing trend will take place. It will be breezy with a high reaching 51. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Long Shoals Road and Bavard Road. Sardis Road northbound stop and go between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. Sweden Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road is stop and go. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, when it comes to serving you, their motor never quits. From next day delivery to curbside pickup to getting involved with local communities. Get the parts you need when you need them. That's Napa know-how.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Whoa! Over the train tracks, it's 3-0 Atlanta.
Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Is this happening? It is! The Atlanta Braves are world champions!
We are the home of the Braves, ESPN Asheville.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Napa know-how.
Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is only $19.99. It's the hottest deal of the year for the coldest time of the year. So if you're in your car right now, there's no need to turn on the heat. I'm about to read this sizzler again. That's Napa full synthetic for a hot $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
participating locations. Does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Offer ends 12/31/21.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside in the Ingalls studio here on ESPN Asheville. You are in the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Story came out today that the Green Bay Packers, for the first time in 10 years, are making stock in the team available to the fans. They are trying to raise $90 million by putting up these stock options up for sale. Here's the thing. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, no, it does.
What does it mean?
I mean, that team is owned by the fans.
Yeah, but you don't get anything for it.
Depends on how much of a share you have. Because they have shareholders meetings inside that stadium, and you 100% get a vote. That team is way that 100% means something,
right? But you can't buy a bunch of them. You're maxed out. You can only buy 200 shares, and that doesn't give you any voting power. You get an invite to the shareholders meeting. Yeah, you get a swag bag or something,
and they let you vote on menial things,
right? They're selling 300,000 shares of stock, and they're going to cost $300 a piece. It's an effort to raise $90 million for infrastructure that, these construction projects that need to be done at Lambeau Field. But again,
and they'll sell out in no time.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure that, because who doesn't? What fan doesn't want to say, "Hey, I own a piece of my NFL team"? If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did it, I would buy one immediately. I'm the cheapest person on the planet.
If the New York Jets did it, we would sell them for $5. We'll give you $5.
But yeah, you technically don't get anything other than bragging rights to say, "Hey, I own a piece of my team." Do you really?
You know what? That's good enough for me.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
I would love to be able to tell people, hey, aside from my sweet ESPN Radio gig, I am also a part owner of the New York Jets. How much of a part do you own? How many zeros do you want me to say here?
Yeah.
Because it's a bunch.
I own 1/700,000th. Let's see. No. Good Lord. Do you know how many shares of the team are out there?
A bunch. A whole bunch.
5 million.
Yeah.
There are 5 million shares of the team by 361,300 shareholders. No, there's no bargaining power in this. There's no revenue share. There's no nothing other than just bragging rights to say I own a piece of my team. But that got us thinking, like if you're going to buy stock, if NFL teams were stocks, who would you be buying the most of for the next 5 years? We'll talk about it up next, but let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, Jeremy. So, I love weird things. And I love vacations, but I think this is probably the most frightening vacation I've ever heard of. So a family of 4 goes on a vacation to the Australian outback, and they go out and they get one of these, what looks like an armored vehicle, to just go gallivanting across the vast expanse of desert.
Gallivanting?
Uh-huh.
Is that an actual word or a word you just made up?
No, it isn't. It's an actual word.
I don't believe you.
It is.
I'm going to Google it.
You can. Yes, gallivant is a word. My grandma used to use that word all the time when she was out running her errands. I'm just out gallivanting across town. They go to South Australia, and they're in this big armored vehicle, and a giant rainstorm comes, and it starts flooding the area that they're around. The tires sink into the earth, and they have no way to get this giant vehicle out. So, they called for help. And the folks that were going to come help them said, "Yeah, we'll come help you. We'll be out there in probably about 2 weeks." What am I going to do in the meantime? They're stranded for days out in the middle of nowhere. They're 95 miles away from the nearest town. Thankfully, they were able to eventually send a helicopter to go out and get them, but they had to spend 6 days out there by themselves in the Australian outback with nothing around. It was actually to the point where they had to have supplies airdropped to them in the middle of nowhere. I'm all for going gallivanting, but I ain't going to do it where the nearest person can't get to me for 2 weeks. That's insane.
I have Googled this word, and gallivanting is a word.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should be. I want to start a GoFundMe for that gallivanting should not be a word.
Okay.
Especially not the way you're saying it.
Okay.
You're adding an extra word, an extra syllable in there, and I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Gallivanting?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing with that, but it doesn't say. It sounds different when you say it than when I say it.
Mm-hmm. To go around from one place to another in the pursuit of pleasure or entertainment. We're gallivanting.
Need a dictionary for all these weird words you use. All right, I have 2 stories because I don't have enough information about either one of them to turn them into a whole story.
Okay.
But they're both, they both have the same tenet. We talk about it every day.
Mm-hmm. Don't do crimes.
The first one, surprise of all surprises, it's from Florida. A vehicle was, this is Palm Beach, Florida, by the way. A vehicle was stopped on North Lake Boulevard near Interstate 95 after a records check showed the driver had a suspended license. With the aroma of freshly burnt marijuana wafting from inside the car, the officer inquired about whether there was anything illegal inside the vehicle. The driver said that there had been, but that it was now gone because he had smoked it. Mm-hmm. Upon searching the car, they located a very large bag with some leafy substances in it. About 100 grams of illicit marijuana. The driver, though admitting that he had smoked marijuana, claimed the backpack which this was found in was not his and belonged to his passenger, who he claimed he did not know and was only giving a ride to. The passenger then said, "It's not mine. There's only one problem. One of the bags had his name on it." Very hard to say something's not yours when it has your name on it.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
That was from Florida. This one is from Cambridge, Maryland. Maryland officials say an Eastern Shore mayor has been charged with distributing illegal pornography.
The mayor?
The mayor.
Okay.
The office of the state prosecutor says 32-year-old Cambridge mayor Andrew Bradshaw is accused of posting naked photos of a woman he was no longer in a romantic relationship with across multiple Reddit accounts that he had created. He was arrested Monday and charged with 50 counts of distributing revenge pornography and then released on his own recognizances. He could not be released. He could not be reached for a comment. However, authorities did reach the woman that he had formerly been in a relationship with and said that, yes, she did send those to him, but did not give him permission to put them on Reddit. That's a felony. Don't do that.
Exactly. Don't do crimes.
The mayor. They're like mayor crimes.
No, thought he was above the law. Thought he'd never get caught. I'm creating fake accounts. Who's ever going to find me?
You know what? And this guy and I are about the same age, and I'm just maintaining this is what happens with a generation that grew up with Mayor McCheese.
Okay.
That's who we took our mayoral strides from.
Aha. Gotcha. If you were going to buy stock in an NFL team today, and you're looking for that stock to pay off, if you're looking for a big dividend down the road, 5 years from now, who you buying stock in? Who's the first team that you're looking at in the NFL, Jeremy, and that you go, I want a piece of that team?
There are a few that I considered here.
Mm-hmm.
The one I can't get away from is the San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
You literally, to me, you can't look at a team that's as good as what you saw last night and has a young quarterback that you just took number 3 overall.
Right.
How could you actually be better than that? I know you have a different team that you're looking at.
Oh, I do. Actually, I have created an entire list here of teams that I would be interested in as Jeremy leaves the camera to go pick up his torture ticket payoff. Yes. Thank you to Takeout Central for bringing us the hottest chicken in town from Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack. I would be buying stock in, I know it's going to sound weird, but the Kansas City Chiefs. I think as long as you have Patrick Mahomes, you're going to be a team that is going to continue to be in it year in and year out. I know there are a lot of pieces of this team that are going to go away. As they pay $500 million to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill, these big contracts that they have, they're gonna move on. But as long as you have Patrick Mahomes, you still have a cornerstone that you can build on. That's one of the teams that I would be investing in. The Dallas Cowboys, I put in the exact same category. They are always going to be relevant as long as they have Dak Prescott.
I'm really not in any way trying to change the subject here, but I do have to update my torture ticket that we will be doing. Yeah. It is a bad sign of how hot chicken is. When the person that delivers it, Lovely, I did not catch her name, but Lovely, Takeout Central, is that who you said that was?
Yeah, it was Angela from Takeout Central.
Angela from Takeout Central. Very lovely. She warned me that it can actually kill you. That's how hot this is. Apparently, they have to tell you that.
Nice.
So, I mean, I'm a...
So what you're saying is after this show is over, it truly could be the last call.
No. Because they don't get... So, Tank, being the jerk that he is, he tried to make this extra hot. Well, they can only go so far when you're not in the building.
All right.
And let me just forewarn anybody, as somebody that has eaten a lot of Rocky's chicken in my life, that is hotter than anything you've ever eaten in your life. What they will let go out the door is hotter than anything you've ever eaten in your life.
Yes.
And it's delicious.
I can't wait.
But I haven't done that. This was a special combination. Tank called in an ESPN Radio favor. I know he did.
What can I say?
We're doing this on air, and we're going to give you free pub.
Yeah, it's going
mainly because we eat there a lot, and their food is delicious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I ordered my dinner as well. I'll be taking that home and enjoying it later, but I had to make sure to get you the good stuff.
So you ordered me demon chicken and got you good chicken?
Mild chicken, yes, because I am a big old wuss.
That's why I still maintain we're going to get something spicy.
100%.
The wasabi was bad.
You can't wait. I mean, I think it's going to be great when you can actually see the scant amount of hair that I have melt on top of my head.
We also are going. We're planning. We got an idea here of we're going to find the best hot wing within a radius of here. We haven't figured out what that radius is yet.
I did not, Adam Black, get the hot ranch as well. I thought that would be too cruel to get the zippy ranch on top of the.
That would have been the greatest Steph Curry deep three ever. You get ranch and tell me, "Oh, I'm just gonna go." I felt bad about you having to eat this, and you put the hot ranch.
Right.
That's something I would do. By the way,
yeah,
I got you ranch.
I thought it was bad enough that I asked them to make the hottest chicken they have hotter. So I did give you actual cool ranch. And I ordered you some coleslaw as well. So
that's just very.
I'm not completely evil.
I believe there is some fermented milk in the fridge here that was looking pretty apt to me earlier.
I can't wait for this. Y'all got to get on the sportsocracy.com. Join the House of Reprehensibles so you can see the last call coming up after this show when he pays off the torture ticket here. But no, the Chiefs and the Cowboys are two teams that I would buy stock in right now.
They were up there for me too.
They're in my top 10. I did a top 10 list of teams that I would go with, and they are in there. The 49ers and the Cardinals, both of those teams I would be buying stock in because Trey Lance is now in San Francisco, and Kyle Shanahan's going to be there for a long, long time, I feel. Cardinals could make a coaching change, but you got Kyler Murray, and they're going to keep him around forever.
Yeah, the Cardinals were in my top 5. The Baltimore Ravens were also in my top 5.
The Baltimore Ravens, I did an honorable mention for them. Because they're a good franchise, I just don't know how this is going to, if they're going to be able to keep this up.
Any team that drafts like that should be in the,
right.
They should at the very worst be in your top 10.
At just outside of my top 5 as well, the New York Jets.
Woo! We're top 10 in something! Except the draft, where you're very good at being in the top 10 there.
I put the Jets just outside of the top 5 because you do have the ability. Now, can you make it happen? Maybe not, probably not. But you do have the ability with all the draft picks.
Probably not.
Well, I've been trying to tell you, every time you think you got something good going, they poo in your nest. And
you don't have to tell me that.
Oh, I know.
I'm
on
year 30
I just keep reminding you. I just keep reminding you. Now, inside my top 5, at number 5, the Carolina Panthers. I'm buying stock in the Panthers.
See, I can't have you that high when you don't have a quarterback.
They'll get one.
And you don't.
They'll get one.
See, and this is where I guess the fact that I start with quarterbacks. If you think the draft is a crapshoot, you just wait till you see the next 2 years. Because you are going to see guys go really high. I'll equate it to the NBA draft. That's what quarterbacks for the next 2 years are going to look like. Because there is going to be a lot of bad tape. Malik Willis has a lot of bad tape.
If I could only buy shares in the defense, I would. But I can't. I have to buy the whole team, and I think they'll get a quarterback at some point. David Tepper's going to take enough home run swings where he's going to hit one of these, and this is going to be a damn good team.
They would be in my top 10 because they are good and young, and there's just not that many teams that have good young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, be really honest with yourself. How many quarterbacks under the age of 25 do you feel really good about?
It's a good question.
It's Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson.
That's it?
That's probably it for me.
Justin Herbert?
I can't feel real good about him.
Come on, sophomore slump. He's good.
No, and here's the thing. It would be one thing if we thought he was a no-doubter coming in. He far exceeded our expectations. Anybody that scouts, does draft things, anything like that. And then this year I'm starting to see a lot of the things that's why I didn't like you coming out. And I don't know that you can get away from that. And look, I'm being overly critical here. Because quarterback, if you overpay a quarterback, ask the LA Rams. Look how much it took for them to get out of that.
Right.
You overpay a quarterback, and it can be a boo-boo.
You can be. The Denver Broncos. I got them in my top 5 as well.
That's another one that doesn't have a quarterback. I can't go with you on that.
No, but I believe so much.
They're not in the top half of the league to me.
Really?
No.
With all the young pieces that they have at receiver,
but
with
it's only at receiver.
With Javonte Williams there, with the young defense that they have.
Okay, so that young defense you're talking about. How many guys does that actually include?
I don't know.
It's Patrick Simmons, or it's
4
Patrick
or 5.
Surtain and Justin Simmons. That's it.
That's it. And they also have a GM that I believe in,
George Payton.
And George Payton's going to make this into a winner.
And I believe that, but there's way too much projection there for me. They're not.
Well, that's what this is about. This is about buying stock in future teams.
And I get that. What I'm saying is there's way too much projection. I understand this is a projection thing. You're doing like 3D chess here, going, well, if the world in the axis and it spins, I don't want to do that. See, to me, San Francisco, ready-made. What are the most important pieces on a team? Quarterback, check. Pass rusher, check. Playmaker, check. Coach, GM, check. They're the only team in the league that hits every one of those.
Okay.
And for me, the Baltimore Ravens are 2.
Okay.
From there, it gets into, then I get into like Arizona, who I don't love the coach, and I don't really know how I feel about the front office, but I look at how they've drafted, and okay, Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons, you're very up on analytics. You're very new school in the way you draft. To me, that's going to build you an elite defense. Then I get into the Cowboys. The only thing I ding them on is that they've already had to pay the quarterback.
Indeed.
They're paying the quarterback $11 jillion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to be dinged on that because you're not going to be able to just go out and cherry pick free agents anymore. But they're ahead of the other teams that have done that because they're the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime somebody is released, anytime somebody has free choice, Dallas is always going to be an alluring spot.
Yep.
My 5's the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. The Buffalo Bills are my 3.
Yeah, Buffalo. You remember that thing I said about what are the primary playmaker, quarterback, pass rusher? Check, and then about 7 checks because they have 100 of them.
Right. I got the Buffalo Bills at 3. This one might surprise you. I got the Cincinnati Bengals at 2. And my number 1 is the Chargers.
I like the Bengals, and good gracious, that's high.
But I can buy low.
The Chargers would be in my top 10. The Bengals would too.
Mm-hmm. I can buy low now, and you got the quarterbacks. That's the things with the two. That's the most important thing to me. If I'm buying stock in a future team, I want to know you got the quarterback. Those other ones at the bottom of the list, those are safe choices. The Chiefs and the Cowboys. You give me the Bengals and the Chargers. Those are teams that got bright futures. I want the Bengals to have a new coach. But other than that, I think I'm on board.
I mean, I can get down with that. That's 2 teams I like a lot, too.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said the Giants in the comment. No. The
Giants have pieces. They just need a GM that has, an IQ above salad dressing.
Oh, which there was a story from The Athletic today of, guess what? They're going to be on the market for a GM. No. Seriously? The Giants? David Gettleman's going to get fired at the end of the season? Who's shocked? You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. 26 on the eastbound side delays between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sardis Road northbound slow between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your time saver traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Daydreaming about the cheesy Gordita Crunch Cravings Box? The box that has a cheesy Gordita Crunch, a beefy 5-layer burrito, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink? Stop daydreaming and get to Taco Bell to pick one up today at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family. They'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
Hi, break time?
I know you.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
When you're a grocery store, hunger has no place in your community. That's why at Ingles, we donate over 2 million pounds of food every year to those who need it. It's the right thing to do, and we know you'd do the same. Ingles, your neighbor for over 50 years.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties Keebler Townhouse or Club Crackers, 2 for $5. Select sizes and varieties Green Giant canned vegetables, 3 for $2. And select 16 to 24 ounce Dawn dish spray or liquid, 2 for $6. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
At Napa, when it comes to serving you, their motor never quits. From next day delivery to curbside pickup to getting involved with local communities. Get the parts you need when you need them. That's Napa know-how.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
The Sportsocracy.
All right, it's ESPN Asheville. Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene here in the Ingalls studio, and it has arrived.
And I just had a piece of the chicken. I had a piece of the skin of the chicken that is it's for realsers.
Yep.
That is for sure. I literally just took 6 French fries and dunked them in the bottom of the ranch and just crammed them in my mouth before we started this because my mouth hurts.
We got the hottest chicken that they would allow out the door at Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack for him to pay off the torture ticket here after he lost this week's bet of the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Las Vegas Raiders. He had the Raiders, I had the Chiefs, and now he has to eat the spicy.
I have to eat the evil chicken.
Mm-hmm. But gosh, it looks evil too. Like he took it out and it's maroon.
It's not that. Yeah, it's like you look at it and you go, that looks like a mean. It's a mean color.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching us on the YouTube stream, it's like the color that's behind me. It's not the color of my shirt, which is what I was mentally expecting.
Yeah. It's like a dark maroon evilness.
I swear to you, I saw a pitchfork in the sauce in the container.
Yeah, so stay tuned for this. Join us on the YouTube stream if you are not, so you can see Jeremy sweat it out in the paying off the torture ticket in the last call in the Sportsocracy. And yes, you do have to be a member to join, but it's very easy to do so. All you got to do is go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video, go over now, join the House of Reprehensibles, and you will see him in all his glory.
Well, I mean, currently I'm struggling to speak, and we do a 30-minute after show that I'm going to have to speak through
while eating it,
which is going to be
very
okay. This is going to be less than ideal for me.
We did have some bad news for the Duke basketball program come out earlier today as Michael Savarino, who is a junior. Sophomore?
I believe he's a junior.
Yeah.
He's 20. He's Mike Krzyzewski's grandson.
Yes, he is. He is the son of Mike Krzyzewski's oldest daughter, and he is on the basketball team, just became a scholarship player on the basketball team this past year. He and Paolo Banchero, the projected number 1 pick in the next NBA draft, apparently they went out late last night. Was this last night? Sunday night. They went out Sunday night, and Savarino, who's 20 years old, was stopped for not stopping for a stop sign and was drunk. So,
and
Banchero,
Banchero's car.
Yeah. Banchero, it was his car. He has been charged with aiding and abetting a DUI. Because apparently this is new. I never heard of this.
You cannot willfully let a drunk person drive your car. That is illegal.
We have no details on what went down, but
we know what we just told you.
Man, I don't know. We don't know what the fallout from this is going to be. I would have a feeling that Savarino's not going to be a part of the basketball program anymore. Krzyzewski family members are going to be held to a higher standard than anybody else. But it's unfortunate to see, and don't drink and drive. Don't do crimes. We talk about it every day.
Don't do crimes.
Right.
30 seconds left in the show here. Stephen Tao on our YouTube stream.
Yep.
I'm your huckleberry.
He said he needs some milk in all caps. Let me be real frank about this. A, there is no milk in this building.
Nope.
There is no salvation for me from that. B, I had a little crust of the chicken, and the left side of my face hurts. This is not going to be great.
Oh, this is going to be
If
fun.
you don't like me, this is a great chance to watch me almost die.
TheSportsocracy.com. Click on the live video. Join the House of Reprehensibles, and the last call is coming up next. We'll be back here on ESPN Asheville tomorrow at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Clear tonight, winds will stay light, and the overnight low will hover close to 40. It will be a warmer afternoon on Wednesday with sunshine, winds out of the southwest and high of 70, and still dry Wednesday night with a low of 47. An approaching cold front will result in increasing clouds Thursday afternoon with some showers popping up later in the day as well. As the high hits the upper 60s, cooler air settles in behind the front on Friday. A clearing trend